Wait, I'm coming back for you. Give me 1 second. No, I'm doing that. Come. Ah, pardon me. I've heard that you take job like bracer, do you? I got a bit of a problem and I need some help. Would you be willing to hear me out? Sure, but bear in mind, I'm bracer. I do a job if I feel like it. And I change more than they do too. You good with that? Of course, just as long as the price is still reasonable. Easy. Don't I need to change you too much. It'd be just depending on how complicated the job is. Thank you very much. You see, I'm stumped on what to do. Been trying to make soba noodles and they're just not turning out right. Someone from the city like yourself may know what I'm doing wrong. Soba noodles. A dish made from buckwheat flour, knead and cooked into noodles. I recall from a book that soba noodles are popular in Eastern cuisine, Far Eastern especially. Bingo, you two ever had any chance? It's popular street food back in the capital, has its fans for sure. Pretty simple to make, but it's got really deep flavor and it smells like nothing else. Is it really? Darn it, now I'm hungry. I felt the same when the mayor told me about it the other day. So I figure I may as well try to make some myself for the Harvest Festival. I went around and asked the villagers for advice and some of them do know about those sort of recipes. But well, it's been a bit of a flop. I haven't been able to get the flavors right. The Harvest Festival, I think I read an article about it in the papers. Right now I remember they celebrate every autumn, right? That will be this year is right around the corner. So I ain't exactly a cook, but I can try and give you some pointers based on the soba I had in the capital. I think that will be a big help since you have that point of reference. Hearing about new experience from new people is really interesting to me. Thank you for hearing me out. You thought Vance? She eager for help, but not really a job for a spring now, but we got the time. Alright, I'll take on. I always make sure to do the job right, so I want some bad about this. Thank you so much, I do my best. I'm getting excited for some noodles myself. So where do we start with this? Good question. So you say try to make some and it didn't go so hot? What about them didn't come out right? Well, the flavor was off and so was the appearance. The dots turned out pondering when I was cutting it, like it wasn't put together very well. It took me so much effort to cut it that I just sort of mangled the dough. The result didn't even look like noodles. The outside was all soggy and wet, but the inside was still chalky. It didn't soak evenly at all. That implies something may have gone wrong when making the dough. Perhaps there is some more to making it than ordinary bread. And then the flavor, the sauce, I tried to mix it up and make a flavor more familiar to the villagers. So I ended up using basil as my base. It wasn't incredible per se, but it just didn't seem quite right. Yeah, sounds like you leaped before you looked there. Best to stick to the recipe. Well, yes, you're right. So there's a lot to unpack here. But before we can dive in, we'll need to figure out how to make the stuff ourselves. So you say you learn about the dish some of the villagers, right? Yes, most likely from the Mayor Weg and Montona. They were a great help. Both can trace their roots to the east, so they can general idea on how the recipe went. Well, that's as good a place to start as any. Feel free to kill some time until we're done asking around. Of course, thank you for your help.
Time to start working.
We know where is the mayor. Oh, okay?
Let me ask you something.
Oh, you mean the recipe Giovanna asked about? Admittedly, I'm not too familiar with the recipe itself, but I know plenty about its ingredient. Buckwheat is my specialty. That's been passed down my family tree for generation. As millers, we know our wheat for generation. Really? Now? That's wild. Guess I should be too surprised though. What with galettes being the big thing here. Yup. It was a family that first imported buckwheat flour to the village, in fact. So I dare say it is in my blood. So how do you make buckwheat dough? There are two main ways you can do it. The simpler way is just to use only buckwheat flour, that's called 100% dough. The second is to mix bucket wheat flour with standard wheat flour. You can play around with the ratio of buckwheat to wheat and that can change the dough pretty significant. The most common ratio is 80%, so that's 80% buckwheat, 20% wheat. So the way you make the dough isn't always the same. There's more to this than I thought. The more buckwheat you have in the dough, the easier it dries out. So working with higher buckwheat ration takes more skill, especially when you are kneading it. That's about the gist of it. A lot more complicated than I gave it credit for. Thanks for the crash course. My pleasure. Give my regard to Giovanna, will you? Let's give it a crack and see what we come up. Right. The fuck? Chapel, wait a second. Where's the mayor? It was here, right? Ba-boom.
Can we talk?
Is it about Giovanna's sober efforts? I'm sorry to hear that she's having trouble with it, but I do appreciate you helping her. I hope she gets the recipe just right. Well, the feel's not my fault, but I make sure I always do the job right. You can leave it to us. That's the spirit, young man. As for the soba, I can give some insight on the sauce if you like. My mother was born quite far from the east. She became skilled at preparing their cuisine growing up. From what I remember, soba sauce is made by first preparing a base, soup stock, then adding the flavor of choice to it. Can you tell us more? The flavoring is a blend of various spices and sauces, usually local to the area. When the blend is finished, you mix it into the soup stock. Soba stock will traditionally use kelp or dried bonito, to my knowledge. But there are many other bases you can use: dried vegetable, mushroom, sardines, and like. Really anything goes so long as it tastes good. So you can personalize the flavor of the soba that way, I see. But kelp and bonito don't appear to be common ingredients here, at least. I'm not particularly familiar with them. Probably bigger out in the east. I see, we can probably use stuff more common around here instead. So what should we make the soup stock out for? Giovanna mentioned basil. Basil will work in a pinch, sure. But I'm thinking if we wanna really make the soba pop up, we should get something strong. Seafood's a good bet. We'll just need something we can find around here. Shrimp maybe? Think we could get some of that? As it so happened, some of our merchants do carry that. Shrimp is common in the Eastern cuisine, so you should be able to find some from specialty merchants. I think I have some in my house, in fact. If you like it, you need only to ask. Perfect. Hopefully we don't get to raid your pantry, but if we do, we'll get a chat, you know. Nice, our ingredients are secure. Secure indeed. Mission accomplished. Thank you for your help, Mayor. My pleasure. I see wonderful soba in my future. Okay, that should be good enough. I think we have good grasp on the subject now. So do we go back to Giovanna now? Actually, I think we're still missing something. Oh, and what will that be? A secret spice, that's what. Nothing wrong with sticking on the basic, but I say if we are making our own, we'll put a little spin on it, something off the beaten path, Maybe something that grows around here. How about local plants? We could probably find some stuff down by the creek. I'm not sure what you mean, but you sound really confident about it. I trust you on this one. Cool, if we don't find anything, no biggie. I mean, we did so a lot of... Oh, look at this right here. It's a weed or something? Is that even edible? I don't believe I have seen a plant like this before. Yeah, this here is called a fresh ingredient. City slickers, that note. They are common in the East Central East, so I imagine you don't see any out there either. Now Far Eastern spice recipe called for wasabi. Ooh! And while this ain't the same thing, it's still called mountains wasabi, and for good reason. Pack as hell of a kick. So yeah, this will be just fine. You shred this up green into a past and bam! Instant winter. I see, so this is what raw horsehair dish looks like. Interesting. So it's similar to other kinds of radishes. Oh boy, you don't wanna eat this like other radishes. No, may as well kiss your tongue goodbye if you do. Is it really that strong? I'm not a picky eater, I can take it. And now I'm eager to try horsehair dashi and soba noodles. I think that about it then. Let's bring to Giovanna up to speed. There was another one? Oh, the other one was Giovanna. Okay, Giovanna coming. Give me 1 second. Yo, we pick up on a lot of stuff for the villagers. Oh, thank you very much. If possible, I'd like to try and make another batch, and you can guide me as I'm making them. Will that work for you? Sure thing. Thank you. Let's move to my kitchen. Oh heavens, I forgot my house is just a mess right now. I'm sorry, could you give me just a minute to clean up? What timing? If you are in need of a kitchen, mine is ready and waiting. Mayor Wang. I thought I'd stop by and see how things were going. Good that I did. Best to strike while the iron's hot, no? You'll be welcome to use my kitchen instead of cleaning yours at first. Oh, thank you so much, and gladly accept. Let's head for the mayor house then. I will just need to stop by my house real quick to grab some cookware and ingredients. Sure, we'll help you carry whatever you need. This is getting really exciting. I do look forward to see the noodles we make. Well, make ourselves at home. My husband told me you will be borrow our kitchen. Help yourself to whatever you may need. We'll be upstairs if you need anything from us. Don't hesitate to bug us if you run into trouble. I'm looking forward to seeing how your noodles come out. Thank you both so much. I promise they will be worth the wait. Now then, we have the kitchen and we have the ingredients. All that's left is to put all together. Though let me know if anything seems off to you. I'm counting on ya. Sounds good. Glad to help. Oh, I can't wait. So first and foremost, the dough. I remember that you can, okay. At the time I figured, well, the more buckethead, the merrier, so I just went all in with it. So you went for 100%? I did, yes. Should we stick with 100%? Not to be pushy, but I think lower the ratio will be better, like 80-20. Montana was telling me about how 100 dot is really thicky to work with, dries out before you know it. So adding some standard wheat into the mix should help when you are kneading it. I see, well, that does make sense. Let's go ahead and do 80% buckwheat then. Pressing attention, to knead it. Oh goodness, you're right, it's so much more iterated than before. This is much easier. This should be up better when I cook it. I think the ration really was the secret. Smells good too. It's looking great already. I'm excited to see the complete dish. Right, on the second sauce now. I think the stock was where I went wrong last time. I tried using basil and it didn't turn out very well. What would you— oh my god. Vegetables looks well and good. It has its place, but try shrimps. This time Mayor said he had some in his pantry. Don't imagine they will have a problem with us borrowing some, as we offered them a bowl. Shrimp, I see, let's try that then. I will go and find the shrimp for her. I'll keep an eye in the pot for when it starts boiling. Pan accompany themselves. Oh, and now it is superb. The smell alone makes my mouth water. So these are proper soba noodles. I've never had them before, but they look scrumptious. I'm flattered. I could have done it without all your help. Now let's see how it tastes, should we? Hell yeah, I'm starving. Thank you for treating us. Thanks. Oh, wow. It tasted really funny, but in a good way. It's delicious. Can I have a second, please? Girl, you still have food there? Oh yeah, the hint of shrimp with that earth note from a buckwheat. That right there is a winner. 5-star. I'd wolf them down again. I can really taste the natural flavor in this dish. This is almost like a sample of the entire region. You mentioned this was a Far Eastern recipe. This stand out even among them. It's unlike anything I've eaten before. I really wasn't expecting the flavor profile to be so complex. It turns out simple, wonderful. This does bring me back. The taste is always so comforting to me, no matter how long I go between bowls. I dare say you have mastered this recipe. Make sure you try some of the hordashi too, hey? It's freshly shredded, so it will really light up your taste bud. Oh, good point. I may as well give it a try. I wonder how it may complete my noodles. You told us just a little bit, right? I don't see the harm in adding a little more. I can take the spices of the Central Eastern recipe, so this will be a cake. What is that? It's not just spicy, I can't even taste my noodles anymore. I really don't like that. I prefer the noodles by themselves. Goodness, this is strong. Indeed, I imagine that to do with some how fresh it is. It's acid at first, but the aftertaste is quite pleasant. I can see appeal. It's just an acquired taste. Yep, it's a very mature flavor, not to the faint of the heart, but once you try it, it hooks you. You don't like it though? That ain't a problem. You can just have it as needed. Instead, the buckwheat's plenty flavorful on its own. Why do I feel like I just lost a fight? Van is quite a seasonal eater, isn't he? There's something admirable about that. Thank you all so much. I'm glad I was able to do the recipe justice. Now I just need to participate it so that come festival time they will even taste her. Looking forward to it. I'm glad I got to try the Far Eastern cuisine for myself. This really was delicious. Thank you very much for the meal, Giovanna.
Mission accomplished! Great job, you guys!
Love to see it.
Mirror deposit confirmed.
All the lights, they're passing by, and all my thoughts, they multiply. I see it flash before my eyes.